Hi, I'm Mariann Johansen-Ellis and you're welcome to my Singapore studio. If you're like me and you love Linocuts, then I'm going to show you how to have great fun and in the process produce some fantastic looking prints using different coloured and pattern Linocuts and do some overprinting. Come over and I'll show you some of the plates I've already done. As you can see, I've been really busy here. This Linocut printmaking method is a lot more about design and decoration. And for me, that's a huge love. I love doing patterns. I discovered very early on that you need to have a lot more soldiers, i.e. background patterns, than you need to have generals, which is kind of your image plate that you put on at the top. I also experienced that 3 plates is actually more than enough. After that it just starts looking a bit messy. Nice is to have quite a solid background plate, have a middle ground plate that's a bit more cut out, and then you print your actual image on top. 3 plates printed on top of each other. I can give you an example. I can show you a print that I made. This is my lovebirds. I started off by printing my Chinese water. Printed that in a light pink. Overprinted it with my Mariann flowers in the purple blue. And at the very end in black I printed my lovebirds on top. You can mix and match here. This is where the soldiers come in. You can actually cut yourself what I think of as a whole little library of background and middle ground plates, and eventually you're going to have quite a lot of stuff and you end up being able to, like I actually number them 1 of 1 because I'm not going to repeat the same order or the same colors twice. So to me this is a monoprint. It's fun for the customer, fun for your clients, and a lot of fun for you as well. That's enough talking from me. Let's go print. For this kind of printing, I prefer water-based inks. It makes the cleaning of the plates so much easier and quicker so they can be rolled up again. White is going to be your best friend. The paler the first colour, the easier to get a good result. You don't want the first colour to be stealing the show. I'm using Daler-Rowney water-based block printing inks here. They do need a lot of cutting though, as most of their base colours are pretty preschooler. It's a good idea to start by mixing them up to see what kind of colours you can get. The burnt sienna they have works wonders for taking the edge off the brighter colours. As you can see, I don't really clean up the mixing board in between, as I like the serendipity of a colour I couldn't mix again. It somehow, for me, really goes with this mix and match method and supports my monoprint numbering. I roll up my 4 plates for the first pull in my chosen colours. No need to be too fussy about the rolling, you are going to overprint this pull. Now, we do need to talk a little bit about registration here, as you are going to print 3 plates on top of each other. I've made a very simple register, a piece of cardboard with a hole cut for the lino plate. It also keeps it from moving as it's going through the press. I cut all my papers so they fit the register perfectly and line them up along one of the edges. A very good tip is to make the top lino plates your generals, just a tiny bit bigger. Make a separate register for them, same size cardboard, the hole cut to fit the generals. This covers up any misregistration sins done during the first 2 pulls. My plates have gone through the press and I get to see the colours for the first time. I might go back and print a couple more soldiers here if there are colours I especially like. For the second pull, I carry on with my loose approach to the mixing of the colours, trusting in many years' experience of colour making. You would like the second round of colours to be just a little bit darker. Spend some time on this colour mixing. You need to feel fairly confident about the colours you apply. The second plate goes in the register and the paper goes back on top. It is very, very important that the two colours you have on the background work well together. They're going to support the whole print. Think of those two colours as your wallpaper that you're going to hang your image on. Spending a bit of time on them makes a lot of sense, as it makes for more successful prints. I'm quite happy with my second pull. The colours look good together. Be sure to let the prints dry in between pulls, as too much wet ink on the papers makes for a messy print. I do spend quite a bit of time really deliberating over my choice of image on which background. My preference is to have a dark colour on top, but you can of course play around with all kinds of combinations. 3 different shades worked with white can look absolutely fantastic. Remember, I'm only showing you a little bit of all the wonderful opportunities that this method holds. You can make cards, print t-shirts and bags. I'm only hoping with this film to inspire you to get started on those linos. And finally, the general goes in the register. Please take a little bit of care placing the paper. So close to the finish, you really don't want your print to misregister. Believe me, it is very annoying to have 2 great soldiers with a super general on top go in the garbage because of misregistration. And here is the reason why I love printmaking. You always have to see the finished print to know if it's going to work or not, so enjoy the whole process, every single step of the way. That's the end of our printing session. As you can see, you end up with quite a lot of prints, and that's kind of the whole idea with the mix and match of Linocuts. Best way to do it is have your papers cut, have your inks in order, and just go with it. When you've done this a couple of times, you'll find that you get a flow for colours, you get a flow for what's supposed to go on top of what. As always, it's a little bit of practice makes perfect, but don't restrict yourself too much. I think that the fun lies in being loose and just going with it. The ones that come out that are not so successful, just cut them up for cards. At least you're going to recoup your paper cost so you can make more. And it is a pity, you know, sometimes you do one and you kind of see that the ink didn't catch properly on one side. Bit of a bummer, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. I hope you've had as much fun as I have, and if you have any questions you can get in touch with me through artcanbefun.com, and keep an eye out for future movies. Okay, thanks, bye.